Hello and welcome to your meditation practice that will help in guiding you and teaching you to find the perfect, quote unquote, meditation space as well as position. So we'll be covering over those two things. And you should leave feeling very prepared mentally and physically within your external space to get started with meditation. Beautiful. So, to begin, as you can see, I have lots of different props around me. Now, one thing I want to say to get started is no props at all are needed for meditation. Meditation is truly about going inward, connecting with yourself, connecting with Source, God, divine, higher state of consciousness, whatever you'd like to refer it to. It's not necessarily about quieting down and not listening to any of your thoughts, but rather about actually observing your thoughts, becoming aware of them, and then letting them go, not allowing them to affect you or take over this time that you've set aside and prioritizing yourself. So that's kind of just a quick summary with and how I like to describe meditation. And why creating your own sacred space is so important is because if you're new to meditation, or even if you're not new to meditation, you're coming back to meditation, this is your first time, or even if you've been doing it for quite some time, it is very, very helpful in creating a space for yourself. It doesn't have to be a big space, just a space big enough for you to sit down comfortably, relaxed, preferably with as little as possible distractions, so that you can fully tune inward. Because if you are just starting off with meditation, it can be very, very challenging. Not only to quiet your own thoughts, but if you have a lot of things going on around you, that can make it more challenging to focus on going inward and quieting down and being fully present within the moment. Now, I will say the goal is to work towards, even if there's a lot going on around you, to allow it to not affect you. Now, I know that sounds extremely challenging, but I just wanted to throw that out there in the beginning that when you start to meditate more frequently on a daily basis or as often as you feel called, you'll notice that you take this state of being, this state of presence, this meditative state through with you throughout your day. And that's what makes the most impact. Not necessarily what you're doing on your mat, but how you can take what you're doing on your mat and what you've learned on your mat with you throughout your day. Beautiful. So, to get started, I want to just go over some props and different things that can make it easier for you to transition into this practice of meditation. So what I have underneath me is just a folded blanket, just a very thin. I folded it about 2 times, just to the length of the mat, just to allow some support and some cushion underneath you. And that's very helpful. And this is on top of my mat, so it's double the support. Now, you can always add more support, and that's where different props can come in and be of use to you. You can add in things like a pillow. You don't have to have a fancy meditation cushion or anything like that. It could just be a pillow from your bed or from your couch. And you can take it, and I will turn sideways so you can see. And you can just prop it right underneath your sit bones to give you that extra sense of support and elevation. Now, if you also have a block, or if you don't, I highly recommend investing in one when you get the chance to, because this can actually be another source of elevation and support to help in aligning your spine, because that is what we really want to focus on when we're choosing to do an upright position for meditation, because you can also do meditation lying down. But right now I'm covering the easy seat position where you sit up, which is what I recommend starting off with, because a lot of the times when you're first starting off with meditation, if you choose to lie down, you more than likely will fall asleep. Or if you choose to go into meditation first thing in the morning, or if you're feeling tired at all and you choose to lie down, you will more than likely fall asleep. And it's very important to stay awake and to stay aware and mindful during this practice so that you can gain the most benefit. Beautiful. So to show you how to use this block, what you can do is you can place it just right underneath your pillow. And like I said, this will be another sense of elevation and support, bringing you up even higher. And this will also allow your knees to fall closer to the ground. And a lot of the times this can really help in preventing your feet from falling asleep. Because I know when I first started meditating, and even sometimes to this day, my feet will fall asleep. And that is a totally normal thing. So if you notice that, just try to experiment with different positions like I'm going over today. Beautiful. So that pretty much covers the different variations of the easy seat. You can always do more pillows, more cushions, more blankets. Grab what you have and utilize your space, the things that you already have in your home. Beautiful. So, coming back to that easy seat, so depending on which position you've chosen, you can come into that. And I really recommend, even though I'm just going over different variations and tips today, to really try and set up your space as I'm going over it. You can pause it and come back, but just so you kind of get a feeling for how your space will feel and the different props that you would like to use. So one thing I also want to recommend is that you can also grab another blanket. And if you're feeling any bit of chilliness, or you really find that having an extra blanket will bring extra comfort to your practice, you can always take it and you can just place it over your legs like so. And I always recommend also, if you're feeling any sense of uncomfort when it comes to the temperature, you can throw on something cozy like pants. I'm living in a rather hot climate here in Maui, so it's not necessarily necessary, but cozy socks as well. Making sure that you are comfortable and that you are able to stay in the seated position for a decent length of time. Not necessarily that you will be, but you just want to make sure that you're very comfortable in this position, because if you aren't, it's going to make this practice not as beneficial, and you won't be able to stay as present because you'll be focused on the little irritations that you're feeling within your body. Beautiful. Okay, so other than what you're wearing and how to set up your sitting posture and things like that, also within your space, as I mentioned, trying to find a space where you can be most comfortable, free of distraction, and also having maybe little things around you that bring you joy, that bring you comfort and peace. You can have like a little picture of your loved ones. I like to have crystals nearby, and I like to light sage or Palo Santo to kind of just clear this energetic energy that is within my space. It just really allows me to feel like I'm clearing my energy and setting myself up for success. I like to also have just a journal and pen nearby so that after my meditation, if any feelings came up that are still kind of wandering within my head, I just like to get it out on paper. And that is really, really helpful in sealing your meditation practice, because there can still be stagnant energy or thoughts or emotions kind of wandering around within your body, within your mind. And to get them out on paper really allows you to move forward after your practice with a more clear mind, body, and spirit. Beautiful. That was a lot of information. I want to also recommend to have a glass of water nearby. This is beautiful to also seal your practice afterwards with water, as water is so powerful and so key in hydrating our body. And a lot of the times after a lengthy meditation, you can feel maybe dehydrated if you didn't hydrate beforehand. And having that water there is just perfect because you just have everything you need right after your practice is finished. Perfect. Now, to begin and to start talking about your position and your posture within meditation. So, what is very common within meditation is to kind of slouch. To kind of slouch like this, let the shoulders droop, kind of. A lot of people end up actually sitting like this on a normal basis. If you have a desk job or you sit at a chair or you have to transport and drive long distances, you might find yourself just slouching kind of in this like relaxed position. Well, meditation will help you in becoming more aware of your posture. I know it has for me, and it will actually make you feel lighter and taller. It'll be better for your back and your spinal health, as well as your digestion. You'll just stand and walk more confidently, more tall, more proud. And that is what I like to think of when I come into my meditation posture. So I'm going to show you from the front view as well as the side view so you really get a good idea. Now, during meditation, you don't want to place all of your focus on being really engaged, core strong, shoulders back, really engaged. You don't want that. But you do still want to be in a slightly active posture. So, shoulders rolled down away from your ears. You'll hear that more probably than anything throughout your practices. Shoulders away from your ears. Shoulder blades rolled down your back. Heart open. So, really giving yourself space to breathe fully. As you breathe in, your air and your oxygen is moving from the bottom of your belly all the way up through your heart center and out through your mouth or your nose. So really think of a steady streamline channel of energy and of your breath when it comes to your posture, your seated posture. So heart open, shoulders rolled down away from your ears, spine long. So think of your sit bones, and I'll move this. Think of your pelvis and your sit bones slightly tucked in, rolled back, and your sit bones pressed into that support beneath you. And this is when that extra support of the pillow underneath you can come in handy, because sometimes just having a block can feel a bit hard. So being mindful of that and noticing maybe some days you need that extra support, and always asking yourself, okay, am I comfortable? Can I sit here comfortably for a decent length of time? And adjusting your position and your space based off of that response. Perfect. So to show you a side view quickly, just so you get an idea of what it looks like, what your spine should look like, and what your shoulder blades and your shoulders should look like. So shoulders rolled up, and I always like to actually actively do this. Roll your shoulders up and back and down, and you'll feel your shoulder blades literally roll down your back, and then you just relax down. And then you'll feel that energetic change within your body as it shifts. Your hands can be placed wherever you'd like. Sometimes during a guided meditation, they'll say if you should have your palms facing up or down. Typically, when they're facing up, that is to receive energy. And when they're face down, that is to more ground down, more of a calming practice. But it is totally up to you. So spine long, you can feel it straight. You can feel your core just slightly engaged, tucked in, and that steady streamline of energy and breath flowing all the way up and out and back down. Beautiful. And now for your legs and for your feet. Now this is going to be different for everyone. And I'll just stay in this side position because I feel you could probably see it best, or actually I'll angle slightly just so you can fully see. So if you are up on a prop or a block, as I said in the beginning, you'll notice that your legs kind of fall downward, and it's kind of like this downward stream from your hips because they're elevated, and this will allow your feet to not go numb. And if they still do go numb, that's okay. You might just need to add a little bit of extra support. But you'll notice I'm not in a cross-legged position, but I actually have my right foot placed in front of my left shin. And I find this to be most comfortable for me. However, you can place your right foot right over your left shin or close to your left knee. Or you can even take lotus position, but you're going to want to take lotus position off of your block. And this is a very challenging position. Not everyone can do this, and it will take time. So that is okay. But essentially what it is you bring one foot over your knee, and both feet now are over top of the thighs. Again, if this is not comfortable for you to stay in for long periods of time, as it is not for most, don't do it. Don't push yourself. Again, stay in tune with yourself and what you need. You know your body best. So, other than that, you can be cross-legged. You can do a half lotus where you just bring one on top of the other. This can be rather comfortable if you don't have any support underneath you. Or you can just place one foot in front of the shin. And it doesn't matter which foot. Whatever feels best for you. And then you come back into that position. Close down the eyes. Beautiful. Now, I specifically wanted to cover the ground positions. However, you can do meditation from a chair as well. So I'm going to grab a chair and show you how that position would look from a chair, in case that's just all that you have right now, or you would just prefer to be more elevated off the ground in your space. Oh. Nope, not going to do that. Beautiful. So here I am on a chair. Now, this is quite a high chair. So as you can see, my feet are hanging. And that is not preferred. However, if that is all that you are working with, I do have this little ledge to kind of rest my feet, but you really want to find grounding and stability within your practice. So this is where props would come in. Now, I only have one block near me. But what you would do in this case is you would take a pillow, shift your space over, and you could place a pillow over top of a block so that your feet can hopefully then be more stable underneath you. And again, you can always add another pillow or another block, however much you need to find stability, to find grounding and connection with the earth beneath you. Now, again, if you're feeling any discomfort underneath your sit bones, just as we talked about on the mat, you can take support and you can place it under your sit bones. So you could place another pillow, maybe a folded blanket underneath you, or if you are cold, you can place a blanket over top of you. So very, very similar as we talked about on the mat, just a couple different differences as you are sitting now on a chair. Shoulders still rolled up, down, and back, spine long. And I would say to not rest it against the chair, but to keep that activeness within your body. Strong and tall, activated, shoulders down, eyes closed, just like so. Beautiful. So that about covers everything. The same applies to no matter what surface you're sitting on, always trying to make yourself as comfortable as possible, distraction free if possible, just setting yourself up for success, allowing yourself to be hydrated before and after to seal your practice, having a journal nearby. All of these things amount up and can really help in benefiting you to fully receive all that you can from your meditation practice. I hope you have enjoyed this little meditation practice today. Next week, we will be covering how to prepare for meditation, including different types of stretches and just things that you can do to set you up for success before you fully go into your meditation. Thank you so much for showing up today here on your mat. I'm sending so much love to you in this practice number 2 of the fundamentals of yoga. Thank you and namaste.